I'm Daryl Black, and I'm here to help you be the leader that you would want. Today we're going to talk about empathy, what it is, why it's so important for us as individuals, and why it's so important for us as leaders to leverage and demonstrate so that we can lead more effectively and we can create stronger teams. So remember when, I don't know, for me this is a pretty clear example, but when I was young, I was in the playground and maybe, a little bit of pushing happened and things kind of escalated and maybe somebody hit another person, so on and so forth. Well, let's say, take that and we get in trouble from the teacher. So sure enough, as soon as I pushed the kid, I was nonviolent, but hypothetically a friend pushed a kid and kid falls down. Teacher, sure enough, turns around right as I'm giving the last push and I get in trouble. And meanwhile, the kid that started it, Billy or Johnny or whoever, gets off scot-free. No, nothing. Meanwhile, I'm getting dragged into the principal's office and I'm in trouble. Well, I remember for me saying, well, yeah, but he started it. What about my side? And the teacher would be like, don't want to hear it. Don't care. You're going to go see the principal. Well, I remember feeling absolutely outraged at the sheer injustice of it all. And that life really sucked because no one cared to hear my side of the story. I had something to say. Well, let's take that example and let's now fast forward many, many years. Now, I'm no longer in the playground. I'm no longer pushing people. But I, like so many other people, want to be heard. I want to be valued. I want my perspective to be known. And now, if I'm a member of a team, that still holds very much true. If there's a solution to be found, if there's a conversation to be had, if there is something of value to be done, I actually want an at-bat for that one. I want a shot at it. I want an opportunity to voice my opinion, my concerns, my viewpoint. Well, that's as a team member. So think about that. Now, empathy is our ability to understand or put ourselves into somebody else's shoes. So relative to leadership, we will understand the perspective of the team that we support, of the individuals on that team. So when they talk about something, we aren't seeing it strictly from our own lens as a leader. We are actually needing to demonstrate the ability to extend into their viewpoint, see what they're seeing, why they're seeing it, how they're seeing it, and why they're saying the things that they're saying and behaving the way that they're behaving. So a question comes up often, well, why don't we demonstrate empathy more often? It sounds pretty good because we all want to be valued. We all want to be heard. Well, I think one of the reasons we don't is because empathy is a skill like anything else. If I look at my young self and my son by association and a lot of young kids, empathy is not something I think that we're born with. And we've talked a lot about leadership and leadership being learned and leaders not being born. Empathy is one of those critical skills for building connections that we actually have to be taught. How are we taught? Well, yes, modeled behavior. We see our parents, we see those around us demonstrating empathy, and we may not know what it's called, but we can see it. But that said, it's not something that's taught in schools, and it's not something that's terribly intuitive for a lot of people. Now, take that fact and then let's apply it to leadership. And as leaders, what tends to happen is we become leader-centric. So a situation, a circumstance becomes about us. How does it impact us as leaders? How does this make my job easier or harder? Well, here's the problem with that. Is that entire model is incorrect, because the first thing we should be thinking about is how does this impact the team and the individuals on the team. So for us to actually truly make a connection with an individual on our team, which is of utmost importance in leadership, we need to actually consciously and deliberately sometimes put ourselves in their shoes. See it from their perspective. So you would use maybe a phrase like, you sound really frustrated. Can you help me understand where you're coming from on that, or something of that nature, and a nice open-ended question. So that what you're doing is you're telling them, essentially through that question, you're telling them that they matter, that their voice is important, their viewpoint is important to you. And don't just pay it lip service, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, hey, how does it make you feel? Look at your watch and, be counting down the seconds till you're out of that conversation. No, actually be empathetic. Take the time to absorb it. Because here's the thing too, their understanding of a situation may not jive at all with yours. So it may take a conscious effort to take it in, synthesize it, and then come up with an approach or a response. Now, you don't have to even agree with that viewpoint. So don't get into a he said, she said, he said, she said, whatever. It's about recognizing that they have a perspective. And that's okay, and in fact, that's expected, and that's extremely healthy. And the fact of the matter is, if you do ask them for their viewpoint, if you are demonstrating empathy and they open up to you, that's actually a really good sign that there's trust there and that there's respect and that there is now less of a gap between the leader and them, the follower. So it's a really good indicator of how things are going as well. So please demonstrate more empathy. It's not about you as a leader. It's not about us as a leader. It's about the team and the individuals on the team that we support. So next time there's a situation, yes, think about how it impacts you. That's just natural. But please, please, please be conscious and deliberate and now see it through the lens of the individuals that you support. You'll build stronger teams. You'll have more loyal people. You'll have empowered people. And you will have a team that trusts you and you can trust them. And once you have that trust, the sky is the absolute limit. We can start moving forward with these things. And empathy is a really, really powerful tool and technique to demonstrate to your team to create those bonds. Thank you.